Robert McKee's book, Story, he talks about how a great story is structured around one controlling idea. Now bear with me people, I know that we're here for life direction and I'm going to get there, it's all connected, trust me. Okay, so the controlling idea. It is one clear two-part sentence which really encapsulates the idea and the direction that this film needs to head in. Every moment, every scene, every action, you know that it's going towards one clear path. Robert McKee gives the example of the movie Dirty Harry. It's a 1975 movie starring Clint Eastwood. He's a tough cop who beats all the bad guys, basically being by tougher than the bad guys. So the controlling idea for this, the two-part sentence, we start first at the end of the movie, the climax. Harry beats all the bad guys. Then we say how he did this, by being tougher than all the bad guys. That's the two-part sentence. Harry beats up the bad guys because he's tougher than all the bad guys. As a writer, if I was going to write this, I would then take a little notepad and I could pen this out. So from here, you write down your controlling idea on a post-it note. Harry beats all the bad guys because he is tougher than the bad guys. We can chop off the excess and then post that onto your computer. Now as a writer, when I'm working, I have my controlling idea clearly laid out. The direction that I need to be heading and the beacon that I need to go. There should be no point as a writer that I want to write a scene about Harry when he learns croquet and wins the croquet championship. Or Harry when he has a small puppy who has hurt his leg and he has to rush to the vet to get it fixed. These might be great scenes, but great scenes on their own mean nothing if they're not connected to your story, your controlling idea. Anything that's not connected to your story pulls away from the story, just like in your life. Anything that's not connected to your controlling idea detracts from your goals, the direction that you want to be heading in your life. Okay, back to your direction in life. Your life is a story. It is a story that you create. In the first Star Wars movie, The Phantom Menace, Anakin Skywalker is refused training by the Jedi. The character Qui-Gon Jinn tells him, "Your focus determines your reality." This was something that just jumped out at me when I heard it. I suddenly realized that it's us. We shape the world that we live in. We literally choose the world that we want to perceive and be in by deciding what we want to focus on. There's a primitive part of our brain called the reticular activating system. And what this does is out of the myriad and thousands of pieces of information that come to us every moment of every single day, that sifts through them and gives us a picture of the world that we live in. It literally shapes every second. The world that I see is different from the world that you see, but we can control this part of our brain. Were we to live in a world where lions still attacked us, this part of our brain would be on the lookout from lions, and the minute we see something shaped like a lion, boom, we're fixated on it. As it is, we recognize this part of our brain when we do something like buy a new jumper, and then we're out, and suddenly we think our unique jumper is suddenly less unique when we see the rest of the world wearing it. We'd never noticed this before. Or you're reading a book and you see a word that you'd never seen before. And then suddenly you see it written down everywhere and people are speaking it. And somehow we just missed this before, because that wasn't in the focus, our picture of the world that we were creating every moment of every day. By creating a controlling idea, we tell a reticular activating system what we want it to focus on. We then see the path that we need to take towards our goals, towards the direction in life that we want. There's a ton of books that talks about how our brain is like a transmitter. All we have to do to get all our dreams in life to come true is write them down, believe in them, create a clear picture, and our brain will just transmit that out and the world will just bring it to us. That is complete baloney. It kind of works, but in a different roundabout way. Our brain isn't a transmitter, it is a receiver. We are receiving thousands of pieces of information every single moment of every single day. And within that, there is a path towards your dream, if only you know what that path is. Create a controlling idea. You tell your reticular activating system what it wants to focus on, and you start seeing the connections towards your goal. We are a receiver. You wouldn't just tune in the channel to any crap. You watch what on TV, what you want to watch. You wouldn't just bash through all the channels, but that is how people live their life. They just let all the information flood into them and they don't even try and sift it out. Choose what information you want to see and you will start to see the stepping stones towards your goals and your path and where you want to be in life. There's a study at Harvard Business School with the business grads. 1979, they asked all the business graduates who had a goal, a clear path in life. Only 3% of them did. They had a clear, written out goals and where they saw themselves going. 10 years later, they asked again how these kids were getting on. Now, these kids who are in the top 1% of earners already, but the 3% who had their clear goals written out, 10 years after this, they were earning, on average, 10 times more than the other 97% combined. Let's just think about that. The 3% of these top earners who had written down their goals after 10 years were earning on average 10 times more than the other 97% combined. Write down your goals, create a clear path, and you will start to see the path in front of you. Remember, your life is a story. It is a story that you can create. But if you're not creating your own stories, you're going to be living in someone else's. Why would you live in someone else's dream, someone else's vision? If you're not building your own dreams, you're building someone else's. Build your own, create your own controlling idea, the direction of your life. It's very simple to create your controlling ideas. You just look at where you want to be. I am a successful businessman because I have a chain of coffee shops. I have a successful retail business. I have a wife who loves me, and I have children who I've raised well. This two-part sentence is easy to stick in your head. You can post it somewhere, write it up, pin it up, put it somewhere that you can see it and live by it every single day. Now, this structure is something that came to me many years ago when I was living in Holland. I was 21, recently unemployed and unemployable, the fact that I didn't speak any Dutch, and I was pretty much undereducated, leaving school at 16 and going into construction. I was in a pub feeling ridiculously sorry for myself. And a friend came up to me and she told me a story. She sat down and she told me a story about a lady who wanted to run a barber shop. And that lady didn't think she could do it. But then she just thought about where she would have to be at the end, running this barber shop, and all the steps she would need to do in order to get there. And then she just walked through those steps and worked out how long it would take for her to do it. And slowly, day by day, week by week, and month by month, she got there. That story stuck with me. And that night, I wrote down where I wanted to be and how I was going to do it. I was going to be a poet. 2 weeks later, I moved to Ireland. I started writing poetry every single day, joined poetry groups, joined writing groups. 8 months later, I had a book of poetry. However, by this time, my controlling idea, what I wanted in life, has changed. I was also doing a lot of acting. I ended up going back to Scotland. I went and finished school, got the highest marks in the college for the end of school degree. Went to college after that, or university after this. I went and studied theatre directing. 4 years later, I'm still learning about directing, and I read about the story by Robert McKee. And it was at this point that I realised the controlling idea is something that I'd been doing in my life for years before. I'd been structuring my life through a controlling idea. I'd been ticking off box after box after box in all my activities because of this one simple little trick in life. And you can have it too. Create your own controlling idea, your own dream, where you want to be in life. Don't live in other people's dreams. Don't build other people's worlds for them. Build your own world, the world that you want to see. People walk around moaning about this factor or this situation or this thing. They're moaning about factors from other people's worlds that are influencing them. Build your own world. Influence other people. Become the influencing factor in the world. Don't let it influence you. You choose what you want to see. Your life is your life. It's your gift. It's yours. Today is yours. This minute is yours. You can decide where you want to be. Do it. Decide. Take the step and decide the journey that you want to take and start walking towards that journey. Create your controlling idea. Build your life. Be all that you can be. You can never be all that you can be if you don't know what that is. Know what it is. Be it. Pin it up. Post it up. Look at it every single day and become it. Today, tomorrow, the next day, and for the rest of your life. Be the thing that you want to be. Be all that you want to be. Take what is given to you, because the world is yours. You just need to see it and grab it with both hands today.